With a little shell as we go into the set. Just a little one.
We got no time for shelling. We got to get it in there.
It's just been nonstop action. And it's been such interesting action, too. It's not even like we've just been, watching the usual suspects of Season 3. It's just been match after match. So interesting to see how these players with unconventional characters operate these regional threats.
Deznere taking some big damage here from HamBam.
He's taking on plenty more of it as he's going to be stuck in the corner.
Spends the meter to make some space. He's able to get out of the corner. HamBam very happy to give it to him. Just to push him back in.
But we've seen Deznere pressured before. We've seen him come out on top.
That's the thing, is that HamBam is waiting for the approach. He's playing defensive this time around. Usually, like, the rule of thumb in Street Fighter is don't let your opponent out of the corner.
Right.
HamBam is very happy to let his opponent out of the corner in this case because he can find a way to stuff the approach and convert off of it.
Yeah, he knows his opponent wants to press some buttons. He knows his opponent wants to move around. And in knowing that basic habit, he's able to take advantage of it very easily. And that's just the nature of his own play style that has further synergy with Balrog's kit.
HamBam looking really good in this second game here, blocking really well. Not letting Deznere get much in terms of actual damage here. First conversion is an EX command grab in the air, though.
That's all about if Deznere can make something of this. He's got decent amounts of damage put on, but as we mentioned earlier, you can't really go for a blow-for-blow damage war with Balrog just because you give him that opportunity to land his hits. Look what's happening to that health bar.
That's the thing. You got to play the combo game against him. Like, if you're not landing your strings, you're not being optimized, you're going to have a bad time. And the first game will lose the semifinals. We're going to HamBam.
Very convincingly at that, too. That was a quick one. Now, what I'm curious...
No changes here. We're hopping right back
into it. I feel like it's really just going to be a change of play style. And I'm curious to see what changes Deznere makes to try and be a bit more successful in his approaches on HamBam. Now, this is where I feel like we might need to see an adaptation from Deznere that we haven't seen yet while he's been on stream. I think he's going to want to stick more to being in older Zeku during this set as opposed to younger Zeku.
Well, you're already seeing it now. He's using older Zeku to throw out those projectiles, as whack as they are, but they are still projectiles.
He needs them. He needs to play a spacing game against HamBam, especially if he's trying to put on little chips of damage, just because if you go close range, you go blow for blow. This is what happens.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you're blocking against Balrog. He's still going to chip you down. He's going to set you up to be one conversion away from losing the game.
Even with some tricky movement in the corner, it just wasn't enough. HamBam, once again, going to be taking around. This is looking like a rough scene, dude.
We talked about some chalk lines earlier. I think there's going to be one after this set if the pace keeps moving the way it is for HamBam.
These sheep are going to have to call in the detective. The murder in the Highlands. But Deznere's not out of it just yet. HamBam's only up one game. He's only up one round. There's still plenty of time in this best of 5.
He's got to figure out how to get in on HamBam.
See, I don't think Deznere has a problem with getting in. I think it's a matter of staying in and making it matter. Because he gets his pokes.
I'm not going to lie.
But his pokes only do little bits of damage.
He got in once, he got one hit, and that was it.
HamBam gets his pokes, and it's...
Well, that's the thing. HamBam's getting his poke, and then he's getting a follow-up, and then he's converting it into an EX.
It's like if you got ran through with a spear and someone said you just got poked. They're not wrong, but it's not the same as getting poked with a stick. One way or the other. HamBam chilling here. He's up 2-0, and
I mean, HamBam was he's seen himself up here before, so he also has to make sure that he doesn't falter here and just keeps the pressure up and closes this set out.
This is what I feel we need to see from Deznere. However, popping that V-trigger so close into HamBam.
See that right there?
I feel like that was the mistake in this play, but he's staying on him. He's got the stun. Now he's just got to make this count.
Oh. But he gets the connection at the end.
Still a happy ending. Messy, but a happy ending nonetheless. Let's HamBam in the log, and in a rather convincing round one, this is the shine of
It was
light
a good
that we
turnaround
need. Yeah.
at the end of that round there. HamBam had the early half of that one, and then Deznere was able to turn it around and put the good damage down, a couple good combos, and knock HamBam down.
Yeah, those
See,
distance
there's
pokes,
no
man.
anti-air option there that he's throwing out.
That is
So
a
he's
good
basically
note.
letting HamBam get those free jump-ins.
I'm hoping that that's intentional on Desnere's part so that he can really make something of it later on. But the time is now for those tactics that you've saved for later on. There's a lot of pressure on the line right now. HamBam takes a round and all of a sudden it's game point. That's tournament point.
Very true. All right. All the meter gone for HamBam. But he's going to be able to
All the health gone
use
for
the V
Deznere.
trigger and get the reset he needs to take the game, or take the round rather, and put himself on match point.
There we go. All right, an aggressive option right out the gate from Deznere puts HamBam down for a small moment. However, backing away from that instance, I feel like that's what we need to see from Deznere. He needs to dip in and out.
Look at that gray health. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. He might not be taking the full hit, but he's still taking a lot of damage every time he's on defense.
Right.
We're gonna get the conversion into critical art here.
At least it's going to deal a handful of damage. Looking
Cash
really
out
good.
for about 50% of the health bar. And this is going to be some big damage here. Drop the EX. No. Oh, here it comes here.
Yo, life was looking really
Wow.
good for Deznere when he had command of the corner pressure. But hey, coming out of the corner, it's going to be just enough to keep Deznere alive.
I'll be honest, I think HamBam missed an opportunity there to close that round out.
I feel like in that one moment, he gave just a little bit too much respect to Deznere, and that's exactly what Deznere needed to turn things around.
That's the thing, is sometimes you gotta just cash out.
And just like that, Desnere's got another lease on life. He's got another game to play around with and potentially set up for a Game 5 situation where he can steal all this momentum away from HamBam and ride that into losers finals.
First, he's got to win this game, though. And right now, he's stuck in the corner against Balrog.
Definitely not a place you want to be if HamBam's got anything to say about it. However, consistently switching between older and newer Zeku for the sake of changing up the tools.
Actually, look at this. Desnere's trying to stay in the corner. He's trying to force HamBam to approach. HamBam wants Deznere to approach.
And that's just that's been the crux of HamBam's game plan is...
All right, GameStop trade happening there. Good conversion of damage here, but ends up getting mixed up and blown up in everybody's face.
Deznere still surviving, however, and trying to keep charge of the battle. However, the swings are happening from both sides, but now Deznere is dipping immediately out of the action once he's done with his turn. He's recognized that he cannot overstay his welcome.
He's trying to watch for that V-trigger meter at the bottom for HamBam to go away. He does not want to engage. He does not want to let HamBam get in when he's got that meter. Now V-trigger off the table now for HamBam. Still has 2 more bars of EX meter to go through, though. But unfortunately,
grab it just like that.
Time not on the side of Deznere, having to go with a messy option and gets blown up.
One thing I want to point out, though, is that game went to 13 seconds left on the clock. I feel like if Deznere plays this out as patiently as he has been and forces HamBam to approach so that HamBam isn't on the better end of that patient play, Deznere could genuinely bring us to a Game 5. He's just got to try and make it work, and HamBam is not letting any of that happen right now.
You'll see HamBam will put his damage in. He'll then kind of play passive. But that's going to close it out. HamBam, 3-1 over Deznere. He's going to move on to losers finals.
And he's going to go on to immediately fight Cheeseburger.